So, Mr. Michael, over to you.
All right. Good evening, everyone, once again. So, this training is meant to be a backend training, right? And we'll be teaching JavaScript. However, we think it is good if we can share the basic front-end knowledge with you guys. That's HTML, CSS, before moving into JavaScript fully. We can just have HTML today, CSS on our next session, which is on, I think, Friday. And then next week, we'll be moving to JavaScript fully. I believe everyone here is with a system. You can just signify with the emoji. All right, I'll be sharing my screen now. For the sake of those that wasn't in the meeting the last time we had it on our body session, I'll be going through the process of installing the text editor again, which is our VS Code. All right, so if you go to code.vscode.com, or if you search for VS Code download, the first thing you see is the link to the website where you download the text editor. So I'm using a Mac, I'll download it. If you're using a Windows, you can download it here with this link, or I'm using Mac, I'll download it here. All right, if you're using an M1 system, the M1 series, the M series, you use the Apple Silicon. And then for those using Core i7 below, you can use the Intel chip. That's for macOS. And if you're using Windows, you can download this first one, user installer. I believe everyone have it installed already. Just signify if you have it installed, and if you want us to maybe it takes a wait for some minutes, you can signify too. I just want us all to be on the same page. All right, since everyone has it already. All right, so we are going to open our VS Code. Right, but before then, I'll create a folder. You can create it in your desktop, but I have a folder created for this bootcamp. So I can create a new folder and say HTML, and then I'll drag the folder to my VS Code. I'll drag the folder to my VS Code. Then I think I can close the folder now. So after opening VS Code, I want us to install some extensions. And these extensions include I wish to see my VS Code. All right, Mr. Samuel, I'm not saying the meeting again. I'm on VS Code now. So if there's something you need to call my attention to, just call my name. You can unmute myself and call my name. All right, so the first extension I want us to install is the Prettier extension. And how do we install extensions? We come to this. These are the tabs over here. We come to this one, which is for extensions. And then we are installing Prettier. This particular extension. I have it installed already, but let me just uninstall it and install it again. Yeah. One other extension I want us to install is the live server. All right, so this first extension will make our code readable. It will format it on how it is supposed to be formatted. And then for our live server, installing this one. I have it installed already too. I can just uninstall and install again. All right, so after installing that, we'll come back to our file manager here, this Explorer here, and then we'll create our first HTML file, which is the index.html. An index.html file is the beginning of the, let's say the landing page, or the first page you see when you visit a website. That's the index page. All right, so I want to create my first HTML element. And how do I do that? I'll type HTML here. Once you type HTML, you see these three options. Just select HTML5 and press enter. So we can remove these two. Let's just remove all these tags. And then we start afresh. We have the HTML tag. All right. So what does HTML even stand for? I forgot to mention that HTML is a hypertext markup language, right? It is a markup language, not really a programming language. It is just to put the structure of how your page is supposed to be to the browser. See HTML as a skeleton of a page. It doesn't have any styling. It doesn't have any functionality. Just using some random text that are not designed. Just a skeleton of the page. And all HTML tag has the opening tag. This is the opening. This is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag, right? And inside the HTML tag, we'll have the edge. We'll have the edge and the body. And the body. So this head tag is where you specify the informations about the page for the browser to see. So the next thing I want to do is to open this our HTML page in our browser. So what I'll do is I'll right click on this file and then click on open with live server. So this is our first HTML page. Are we all connected? Is everyone with me?
Yes,
All
you're
right.
connected.
Our page is still very much empty. There's nothing in our page yet, and we are still coming up with what we are doing. All right. So in the head tag, like I said, it is what specify informations about the page for the browser. So the first HTML tag I want to add here is the title tag. And I'll put our title to be our first page. So let me come back here and it is already updated. This is the title. Like I said, anything on the head tag, it won't be showing on the page. It won't be showing on the as part of the content of the page. Instead, it is available for the browser to process, to know, okay, this information is this for this page, is that for this page. So like I said, we'll just be touching the basic of HTML so we can have a glimpse of how the front end works. And then anything in the body tag is what we'll be seeing on this page. Are we still connected? Does anyone have any question yet? Is anyone lost?
Please continue. Yes. Please continue.
All right. So now we'll be moving to the body. And in HTML we have many tags, right? So the first tag I'll be showing us is the header tag. I'll be showing us the header tag, which is H1, and then let me just say header 1. So inside our tag we have the closing, we have the opening tag, we have the closing tag, and then we have the content of that tag. So it is what we have in this content of the tag that will be visible to our browser. So if I come here, I already have the header 1. As you can see on the output of my browser, we don't have the H1, we don't have the closing and we don't have the opening and the closing tag. The next element I want to show you, the next HTML element I want to show you is the header 2, which is H2. And you can see the size of this one is smaller compared to the first one. We have it up to H6. This is header 3, header 4, header 5. So this is 4, this should be 5, and this should be 6. 6. So let me just try increasing the size of the browser. All right, so header 1 is the biggest one, followed by header 2, followed by header 3, header 4, header 5, and header 6. So those are the header tags we have in HTML. So we'll be using just today for HTML, so we'll try to cover up everything we need to know for the HTML. And then the next HTML element I'll be showing us is the paragraph element, which is represented by the P tag. So if I would say P, I have it suggested for me here. I can say this is my paragraph. And then you can see that here as my paragraph. So let me try adding longer text here. So all right, so I just added dummy text to the paragraph, and this is what I have. I used an extension that I already have on my system. That's the Atrium. So once you install it, you can just type Control plus Shift plus P, and if you're on MacBook, you can type Command plus Shift plus P. It will give you this guy, and then you can search during Ipsium. You choose the option you want. I selected insert a paragraph. That's why I have this here. So that is that about our paragraph tag. The next tag I want to be showing us is the image tag. Let me show us button. Is the button element, which is represented by button. And then I can say click me. So this is it. Still a basic button, nothing is happening here. The next element here is image, represented by img. And then this is a self-closing tag. It doesn't have the opening tag and the closing tag, just like every other tag here has. It has just this, and then if you want to close this, we use this guy. It is a self-closing tag. It doesn't receive all these value after the opening tag, just attributes. And then it receives two attributes, which is the source and the auth. So let me try bringing an image to our So our HTML. So let me rename this to image. Yes, image.web as another format for image. And then in my image elements on the source attribute, I can say the image I want this element to show is the image.web. And then alternatively, if the image is not showing, maybe the link is broken, we can say President of Nigeria. And then you can see we already have that here. Let me try reducing the star size, and I can add other attributes, which is the width. I can say 200. Yes. So the purpose of this alternative attribute is for when this image is not found. Let's say I said image 2, which doesn't exist, to show me that this image is broken. However, it's supposed to show President of Nigeria. All right, so these are attributes. These are HTML attributes. These are HTML attributes. This is an element, and these are the attributes. Just like everyone has their own attributes. I can say Mr. Samuel is gender. Is gender. Let me just give you an example. Assuming I have an element called Samuel, which is our community manager. I can say his name is Samuel Johnson, or let me say his full name is Samuel Johnson. Right? These are attributes. His gender is male. Or let me just say this attribute is meant to be human. So there's an human. The full name of the human is Samuel Johnson, and the gender is male. Do we understand that? Does anyone have any question yet? All right, so I'll be removing this. Is just for example. So the next element, the next HTML element I'll be showing us is the anchor tag, represented by a tag. It has its opening and closing tag. I can say open Google. So what this element does is that when you click on it, it opens a link. It opens the link provided in this href attributes. So let me say this, when I click on this link, or when I click on this element, it should take me to google.com. So when I click on it, I have, okay, it should take me to https google.com. And then when I click on it, it's already taking me to google.com. Okay, the next element I'll be showing us is a table. Is a table. So no, we won't be going to table yet. We'll be going to lists. So let me show you. We have two types of lists in HTML. We have ordered list and unordered list. So ordered lists are ordered by 1, 2, 3. They are ordered. And to create an ordered list, we use the UL tag, which means unordered. Sorry, to create an unordered list. So we have ordered lists. Let me just create a new file. We have ordered lists, and we have unordered lists. So to create an unordered list, we have the UL tag, and inside the unordered list, we have the list item, right? And then we can have item 1. So if I come here, I see If I come here, I'll see item 1, and then let's just make it make this up to 5. And here we have the unordered list. So unordered lists are having these bullets, these dots as their bullets, right? And if it is an ordered list, it will be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me show you how ordered list would come out. So I'll just copy and paste the list I already have, and then I'll change this to OL, which is ordered lists. So ordered lists are having their index numerically presented. So the first one on the list is 1, followed by the second one, which is 2, up to the fifth one. Are we all still connected? Just signify with the emoji. All right. The next element I'll be showing us is the bold tag. Is the bold tag or the strong tag. So what the bold tag does is it makes the content of that tag bold. So let me say I want this meaning, this text, this phrase that I selected, I want it bold. I can just cut it and then use the B tag and paste. So if you notice this, you notice that the particular phrase I added the B tag to is already bold. And then we have the strong tag. I can just come here and say I want this to be strong. So the bold and the strong tag is quite similar. All right, we also have the break line. We have a break line. I can, if I want this text to break somewhere, if I want this text to break somewhere here, I'll add the break line here. So let me look for that in my code. I'll add the break line here. Break line is a self-closing tag. You can see the line is already breaking. I may want to add it here too. Here. And the line is already breaking. I may want to add it here too. Here. The line is already breaking. Okay. And then for table, the next element I'll be showing us is table. All right, so I'll have to comment out some of the elements you already have here. So our page won't be overloaded. I don't want to be scrolling up and down. I want us to be able to see what we are doing at the same time. All right, so the next element I'll be adding here is the table elements. In HTML, you want to represent your data with a table. So you can just say table. And then the table element is expecting 2 children. Is expecting 2 children, which is the table head T head, and the T body. That's the table body. All right. Inside the table head, it is expecting a table row. It is expecting a table row, and then the row will have the headers we want to have in the table, which is th. Let's say serial number. The second one will be name. Third one will be let's just say gender. And then if you come here, we already have this guy here. All right, so inside our body, so the table header is like the header of the table. If you are drawing a table, that's the name of the column for each table. So this is the first column, this is the second column, and this is the third column. Then this whole table head has a row. And then inside our table body, we'll be having rows too. So each line of the table body is a row. So we'll be adding our table row. And then inside the table row, we have table data. So since we have three table header here, or table header here, we'll be having three table data. So I can come here and say my serial number is 1. That's the second one here is name. My name is Ayomide Michael. And then the third one is gender, it's male. So this is what we have in our HTML. And then again, I can say I want to have another row after the first row. So this is my opening tag of the table row, and then this is the closing tag. So if I want to add another row, I'll add it after the closing tag, which is another table row. And then my table data, which will have the serial number of 2. And then another table data, Samuel Johnson, with another table data of male. You can see we have this on in our table now. All right, someone asked how did I comment them out. You use your control key plus, I think that's your question mark. Your control key plus your question mark. If you're using a MacBook, you use your command cmd plus question mark. And if you're using a Windows, you can use control plus question mark. All right. Okay, someone said we should skip HTML parts. So we want everyone to be on the same page, right? It is always good as a backend developer if you have the basic knowledge of how the front end works, right? This will make you, it will help you in relating with other front end developers and build what is actually consumable for the front end. If you already understand how it works. All right. So after the table, I think we've done table already. Let me just add one more table here. All right, let me add just one more user, which is a table row, and then table data. My serial number is 3. Another table data is I think Passy. And then the gender will be female, if I'm correct. Then back to our page, we have the table row. So these are basically the HTML tags I'll be taking us. Like I said, this is a backend class, and we are doing more of backend, but we just needed to have a glimpse of what is happening on the front end. So I'll be uncommenting these guys that I commented to show us what we really have. Okay, just all right. So this is our HTML page for today. And as you can see, this is just like the skeleton. This is how every website you visit, this is how their HTML page will look like if there's no CSS. If there's no CSS. If there is no CSS. Let's try something. All right, so I broke one of the CSS file for this page, and then you can see it is already looking distorted. Let me try breaking one more. CSS, and then you can see what the page actually looks like without CSS. So this everything you are seeing here is HTML, and this is exactly how the page is actually being structured. All right, I think there's an HTML tag I forgot to mention, which is the input tag, this one. So let's come back to our HTML file. Under our table body, I'll add inputs. So the type of input you want to receive, as you can see, I already have suggestion here, but the basic thing I want here is the texts. So this is the input field. I can add a placeholder for name. I already have the placeholder as name, and then I can change the type to number. So if I have number, I'll be able to increment and decrement with these buttons. I think I can have date time to select date and time. Let me say date and time. Yes, so I'll be able to select date and time. I think I can have color to select a color. I can have file to choose a file. I can have what else? I think I can have email. So this email will do validation if you're trying to submit a form that the email you entered is not a valid email. I can add password. Yes, I can add password. So to obscure the text we are putting. I can add let's add search as sales anonymous to text. Okay, we can make it a checkbox. As you can see that we can make this a combo box or a radio. Yeah, we can make it a radio button. So this is when you have to choose one out of multiple options. And then we can make it hidden. We don't want the person to see it. As you can see, it's not here anymore. We can make it a range. And we can make it a submit button or a form. So to come as a button, we can also make it a reset button to reset the form. All right, so as we have here, this is the skeleton of this VS Code page. If I return back, let me return back Bootstrap. I'll just remove the dots I added here. And then this is the page with just Bootstrap and not their own styling. And then I can come again and fix the one for their styling too. And then we have the page back. So far so good. Does anyone have any question?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayomide. Okay, before we move forward, let's take a moment to ask questions or clarifications. If anything we've covered so far isn't clear, please feel free to ask. At least for now, you can unmute our mic and or raise your hand. You also unmute your mic and the mic and speak. Okay, so I can see Luke raising his hand, and so no question is too small. This is a learning space, so we're here to help each other grow. So Luke, please unmute your mic and ask a question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for this opportunity. Just a quick one. I wanted to ask how the instructor was able to remove the bootstrap from the site that is already loaded on the internet. I didn't quite get that. How would I get to ask?
Okay. Mr. Ayomide.
Sorry. All right, so I'll be teaching us that when we get to the bootstrap, but I can just show you how I did that. So I inspected the page, right click, you see inspect down, and then if you come to the header tag, under the header tag, you see link tags. And on the link tags, I have bootstrap.main.css. So this bootstrap file is minified. We are not in CSS yet. So what I just did is to add dots here. So this will break this CSS file and it won't be accessible again, right? So if I press enter and then come back to the page, you can see it's already looking distorted. And then if I come again and do the same thing for their own custom styling, I can just add dots here or add any other thing, and I've already removed the styling. I've disconnected the start files and we have just HTML here. Do you understand that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I got it.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ayomide. So let's all remember that learning is a process, and every question brings you closer to mastery. So please do not hold back. Let's make this an interactive and valuable session for everyone. So if you have a question, please ask. So anybody have any question before we move forward? Please raise your hand so we can go into your access to speak. Please, if you can hear, kindly signify with an emoji. Okay, Mr. Luke, I can see you raising your hand again. Please.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, go on.
Just a quick one. During the orientation or onboarding, we were told we're going to be doing front end and back end for those of us in back end to be able to follow through with front end. So on Slack, I noticed that I'm also in front end. So I don't know if that was deliberate or if that was a mistake, so that we could follow through on front end and back end. So I just said, let me ask.
Okay, basically you're not supposed to be in two tracks. So after this session, please message me on Slack so we can resolve the issue. So basically on the backend channel, the HTML is like a laying foundation for what is ahead. So like Mr. Emily just said that you need to understand how the front end work to be able to build the back end. It's just like saying, okay, whenever you click, you put your email address and password on Facebook. What happens? How when you click login, it brings out your information, not somebody else's information. So that's like talking about the back end. So you need to understand the front end. So the HTML, CSS is like laying foundation. I understand that certain people want to just go into the back end, but we are all learning here, and we're of different level. That's the major reason why I asked earlier that let's state if you're a newbie or how long you've have the experience. So let's follow through the class. I believe that we'll enjoy the class as long as we make it interactive. Okay, I have Adelu raising a hand. So please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I don't know if please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. However, I would love to know. I don't know if I missed it, but I wanted to get to know which stack we're using for the backend. And
So
also my second question. Okay.
please come again. Didn't get the question. First question.
I wanted to ask which stack we're going to be using for the backend.
Okay. Okay, and your second question.
Yeah. My second question. I noticed that there was like a grade system, not a grade system per se, but like a the statement that we have some certain number of attendance we are supposed to have or submission to fit in for certificate. I don't know if you could repeat that. I think I didn't. I saw the message at the time, but then I missed it. I didn't get to read it again, so I wanted to go.
Adele, I'm finding it a bit difficult to hear. So I really didn't get the second question. Apologies for that.
Okay.
So, okay.
What I'm saying now is that for the second question, I'm asking that what is the criteria to get the certificate? I saw a message for that before, but I missed it. I didn't get it completely. So I wanted to know, like they said, there's a percentage of maybe submission or attendance that we need to meet up with to fit in for certificates for the backend.
Okay, so I'm guessing you missed out on the general onboarding session. Okay, I would love to answer that question right now, but however, this session is going on and you can private chat me, then I'll give you all the necessary information you need. Yes, for that.
Okay, thank you. But can I get the answer to the first question? I think that's
Oh,
related to you.
okay. Sorry,
All
that's
right.
messed up.
The first question is the backend stack, right?
Yes.
Okay, it will be Node.js.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I believe that's answers your question.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Okay, so if I believe everyone here has been able to install the Visual Studio Code. If you're having issues with it, kindly reach out to me. So on the in the chat earlier, I dropped a link to install the Visual Studio Code, and if you're having issues installing maybe any of the extension as well, please reach out to me. Right now, I believe that we have all installed the Prettier extension and also the Live Server. Yes, please confirm if you've been able to do that. Just one person. Please, you can. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Mr. Aramide, please, you can continue the session.
All right. So, like I said, I don't want to start boring us with the HTML tags and attributes. This is not a front-end class, right? It is primarily for backend developers, but we just needed you guys to understand how the front end works, especially the web front end. So that is all we'll be having. That is what we'll be having for today on HTML. What we'll be having next is the take home, just a task for you guys to do before our next session on, I think that's Friday. So the task will be sent to our Slack channel for everyone to see.
Okay. Yes. So in addition to what Mr. Aramide has said, that the take home will be sent to the Slack channel. Aside that, we want the Slack channel to be active and interactive. So, and also right now, I would implore that we can take a screenshot of this the call session, this session and also post on your social media pages tagging Dive Africa and Dive Africa. Yeah. So we'll be taking more questions. So if you have questions, please raise up your hand so we can answer or assist you with the issue or answer the question. Please raise signify if you have other question. So during my when I was also a part of the program, and during my time I started by sharing my journey. I started by posting on social media, telling my friends, okay, this is how I started my journey, or I mean like how I started, when I started, my progress, progress so far weekly. I made it like a streak, and which has made me connect with other people from other stack as well. So I believe this helps too. So we can also um, do that. So any questions? Any questions? Okay. No question. Okay. Okeshi, you can unmute your mic and ask question.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I just want to know how long the entire backend program is, because I think I do not know that.
Okay. Basically, the program is meant to last for 3 months, 2 months training, and 1 month mentorship. Yeah. So aside for we that were newbie, I would encourage us to watch videos and read documentation on the HTML. I mean, practice what we've learned today and practice them so you get a better understanding. And if you have questions, please ask questions in the Slack channel, or you can send them. You just drop your question in the Slack channel or chat me up. I'll be here to assist. So any other?
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry. I wanted to ask, when will the video recording be dropped for us on Slack?
Okay, the video recording will be dropped tonight, latest tomorrow morning. It should be to be dropped on the Slack channel. So, can somebody give us a bit of recap of what they've learned in this session, so we can make it more like a bit lively? Short recap of what we've learned today. So I have Okeshi and Luke raising their hands. So as any other person? Okay, I have Anna Daniel. So yes, please unmute your mic and speak.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Once again. Yeah, so for today, we've learned the basic header tags, H1 to H6, and we've also learned how to do a paragraph and how to break the paragraph. We've also learned how to impute or insert an image using the image tag. We also learned table, how to create a table. That's some of the things we've learned today.
Oh, great! Thank you very much. So, does anybody want to add to what Mr. Lucas said?
We also learned how to install the VS Code and the various extensions that will help us in the course of using VS Code.
Oh, great, great, great. So I believe it's a wonderful session, and moving on, we'll be able to learn more, more. So I would really want us to and keep in touch, engage in our Slack channel. So we'll also be, I'll probably be raising a poll on our Slack channel because we need to have maybe should I say a class rep or a class governor or captain. Um, Please, I would need us to volunteer. If you are interested in being the class captain or the class rep, please volunteer. Drop your name in the Slack channel. So I'll create a poll and everybody gets to pick. So um, so after this session, please, if you're interested, please drop your names in the Slack channel. So, and I believe right now everybody has seen the timetable for our classes. This was dropped on this channel today. So please plan your schedule. We'll also be sending reminders before the meeting starts, so we can be able to join early. Mr. Ayomide, do you have any other thing um, to add or address before we end the session?
All right. From my hand, I don't have any other thing. I'll be sending the take home. I'll be sending it to you, and you can communicate it with others on the Slack channel.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayomide. So for me, I would say once again, remember learning is a process, and every question brings you closer to mastery. So please don't hold back. Ask questions. Ask questions. Yes, the class is recorded, and the recording will be shared with us in the Slack channel. So thank you very much. Stay engaged, ask questions. Please post on your socials and tag Dive as well. So thank you very much for this session. I'll be seeing you in next class. Thank you very much. So have a wonderful evening.